2026 is predicted to be a record-breaking year for print-on-demand, but it's also a huge year for global events that are going to make print-on-demand sellers a lot of sales. In this episode, we're revealing 5 niches that are going to dominate the headlines and the attention of people all around the world in 2026. We'll discuss what they are, when they are, where they are, and most importantly, how you can capitalize on them to make more sales and grow your brand. My name's Adrian here with my co-host Carlos Colon. Welcome to the Print on Demand podcast, a show dedicated to helping you make money online with Shopify and print on demand. Welcome to the Print on Demand podcast, and thank you for tuning in to our first episode of 2026. Let's go. Carlos, I am feeling it. I'm feeling this new year energy, and we're going to be talking all about 2026 on this episode. We're going to be talking about 5 niches that are going to dominate this year. Carlos, what do you say we get into it?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Niche number 1. That is the Winter Olympics. So I'm going to tell you what it is, when it is, where it is, and then how you can capitalize on it. Let's go. This probably doesn't need an introduction, but you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway, just in case. I don't want to make any assumptions. So this is a international multi-sport event, and it's one of the biggest sporting events in the world. It is happening from February 6th to February 22nd, and this year it's happening in Italy, beautiful Italia. Not only was Italy trendy with like the Italian summer and the Nana's Kitchen trends recently, but now they're hosting the Winter Olympics. So expect a lot of attention to continue being on this beautiful country which both Carlos and I have both been. So let's talk about a couple things here. Not only are the Olympics a huge occasion for national pride. So whatever country you're from, assuming they have winter sports, I mean, some, maybe not even, but they have a team. Whatever country you're from, many people are going to be having a lot of national pride for the country that they're from, and they're going to be cheering them on. Now, obviously, the Winter Olympics has a ton of different sporting events. And so a lot of individual sports are kind of going to be in the spotlight for this particular event. So for example, if you were in the snowboarding niche or the skiing niche, some other common popular alpine sport, then this would just make a whole lot of sense for you. And there's probably creative ways that you can blend this event with your particular niche. And then, of course, people all around the world are going to be watching this as well. Some people are going to be cheering on other countries, not the one they live in. Maybe that's the country that they're originally from. There's a lot of different opportunities here. This is a very big shopping occasion, and it's a massive opportunity for print-on-demand sellers to make a lot of sales. Data shows us that when the Olympics are trending, so are Olympic-inspired print-on-demand products and sales. So how can you capitalize on this event? Let me break down a couple ways, all right? Italy-specific designs. I'm already seeing these trending. I'm already seeing these selling. Winter sport-specific designs. National pride-specific designs. Funny spectator designs. So this is what I call a spin-off niche of something like the Olympics, right? Things like, I just hope both teams have fun, or, you know, I'm just here for the vibes. So, something like that, right? Where it's like the spectators. And then what I recommend doing as well is finding creative ways to blend this occasion with your particular niche. So for a lot of you, this will be totally natural. Some, you're going to need to be a little more creative, or at least do research to see what other people are doing, and then see if you can take inspiration there. Carlos, I want to hear your thoughts before I go any further.
Yeah, I love the idea of this funny spectator designs. Definitely national pride. There's ones that you can repurpose as well. Like, I only care about bobsleigh and maybe 3 other people. Like that's like one shirt for bobsleigh, which is funny because bobsleigh is such a niche thing. But I mean, any one of those sports, you can take one of those sports and you can spin it to like something funny like that. But yeah, the funny creative designs, they're perfect for these kinds of things.
Yeah, I see those all. They're already trending. They're already selling well. We call funny and relatable designs the low-hanging fruit of design creation, because that's where we make most of our sales, and where our students make most of their sales as well, is through funny and relatable designs.
Yeah.
Now, which products should you sell? Let's talk about this, because we're seeing some specific products really kind of bubble to the top here with this particular event. So I've researched, Olympic inspired designs and products, and some of the products that I'm seeing selling right now are t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, beanies, because it's the Winter Games, of course, and even woven blankets, which I was actually surprised. I saw a really strong selling woven blanket, like the type that you can get from Printify. I'm pretty sure that company was actually using Printify to fulfill that blanket. And I think they were making like 3 times the production cost in terms of profit. So just before we jump into niche number 2, I want to share a very important disclaimer. Anytime you're creating products around a specific event like the Olympics and some of the other events, actually all the other events that we're going to be talking about, be extremely careful to ensure that you're not infringing on any copyrights or trademarks. This could get you into legal trouble. If you're on a marketplace, it could get your account terminated. There's a lot of ways that can go south for you, and we don't want that for anyone. We're trying to help you guys build a profitable and sustainable brand, right? So, for example, I would never use a word like Olympics, FIFA, or even World Cup on a design. Now,
there's some other ones too that like you have to be careful with as well, and some of them are kind of like I wouldn't even think of them, but they also, so the IOC also registers Olympiad, Olympic Games, and Olympic, like just Olympic as well. And so, like there's all these things, just any word that you're using that's for that event, just check it up. Just go to uspto.gov and just check, do a trademark search. Just check to make sure that it's not trademarked.
Exactly. We ourselves have to be careful what we say here on the podcast, because we are not legal professionals and this is not legal advice. Yeah. But we deal with this stuff too, right? We create designs as well. We have designs as well. So with that, let's keep it rolling here. Hey, I wanted to let you know that my free print-on-demand masterclass is now available on demand. On that training called How to Make Your First $10,000 with Shopify and Print on Demand, I reveal the exact strategy that I use to generate multiple millions in sales across 2 apparel brands, and have helped many others implement as well. If you're totally new to POD, this will give you a clear path to sales and profitability. And if you're a veteran, this is meant to help you multiply your growth faster. Also, if you're looking for coaching, community, and accountability, there's an opportunity at the end of that class to join our training and coaching program called T-Shirt Legends Academy. So if you're looking for direct, personalized coaching from Carlos and I to expedite the growth process, you can learn more on that class and decide if TLA is a good fit for you. You can attend this totally free masterclass on demand by clicking the link in the show notes below, or by going to ecomlegendsacademy.com/grow. And now, back to the show. Instead of actually using the terms, you might be thinking, okay, well, if I can't use any of these words, how are people going to know it's for this event? Trust me, guys, there are so many ways to create designs inspired by these events without infringing on any copyrights or trademarks. So the way that we prefer to do it, that we would recommend, is to use these events as inspiration, but then use either sub-niches or spin-off niches for your design. So an example is spectators, right? These funny shirts that say, I just hope everyone has fun. Or Carlos said, something like, I only like bobsled and maybe 3 other people. That's another funny, another funny kind of design template that we've seen perform really, really well across a number of different niches. I only like ice hockey and maybe like 3 other people, right? There's so many ways that you can do this. And I want to share a couple examples that I found online. This is an audio first podcast, so we don't have the visuals here, but let me kind of explain a couple that I saw doing well to give you more kind of ideas and inspiration. So this one was really funny. It was like, how Silly Goose has been really big in 2025, the Silly Goose trend. And actually, Silly Goose is actually trademarked. So don't put that on a shirt. But you can still have a goose. Like this didn't say silly goose. This shirt actually had like a cartoon goose, like, a t-shirt designed goose, probably made with AI. And it was on skis wearing an Italian flag scarf. This was so brilliant. And it just says ciao, and it doesn't use the name or any logos, but you know that this is clearly for the Winter Olympics because they're happening in Italy. It has an Italian word. They're wearing an Italian flag. They're skiing. Like everything points to the fact that this is around the Olympics. And this shirt has made a lot of sales already. I'm pretty sure it was on a blue jean colored Comfort Colors 1717T. I think that's what I saw it on. So this would be an easy design to use as inspiration, even if you were in any animal niche, right? Like, yes, silly gooses are trendy, so they are trend stacking, right? There's a lot of attention on Olympics right now, so they're leveraging that. They're capitalizing that. The silly goose trend has been super trendy in 2025, so they're capitalizing on that. They're stacking trendy shirt, trendy color. They're doing all the good things, and they're making sales as they should, as they deserve to be. So that was just one, but you don't need, you could repurpose that design. You could take as inspiration for your niche if you're in another animal niche. So if you're in the cat niche, for example, maybe you have a cat snowboarding, wearing an Italian scarf, going down a hill, right? And obviously it's wearing like cool ski goggles, but obviously that would be, Olympic related. Maybe it's even wearing American flag pants. If it's, like an American snowboarder, if it's targeting American fans, and the Italian scarf to show that it's for the Olympics. There's so many cool spin-offs you can do with this while staying safe legally, not going into any of those gray zones. You want to avoid that at all costs. Another one that I want to share was there was this big coquette style bow. This was another shirt that was actively making sales. It had a big coquette style bow with a pattern featuring the American flag and soccer balls, clearly inspired by one of our upcoming trends, which we're going to talk about, which is the FIFA World Cup. But it doesn't use any name or any logos. So this is another great example of them being creative, and you can tell that it's inspired by this event, but they're not infringing on any copyrights or trademarks. And then lastly, a funny hat that sold really, really well lately. It says, it's an embroidered hat, and it said Sideline Social Club, which is great for spectators, right? We talked about funny spectator designs. That's the kind of design that the kind of hat that a lot of people would probably wear to the Olympics, or maybe even if they're at home on their couch watching events with their friends, right? It's just one of those kind of funny designs that is perfect for events like these. All right, let's talk about niche number 2. And this one is more relevant for Americans. However, no matter where you are, if you're selling to Americans, this could be an opportunity that you could capitalize on. So niche number 2 is the midterm election. So what is it? Well, love it or hate it, U.S. politics is going to be trending hard in 2026 as Americans vote in the midterm election. So really briefly, they're called midterms because they happen halfway through a president's 4-year term and give voters a chance to decide which party controls Congress. This is actually a pretty big deal because the winners get to make new laws and decide how the government spends money. So these are going to be happening across the United States, these elections, between March 3rd and November 3rd of 2026. So let's talk about how you can capitalize on this event. Well, obviously, political inspired designs, they're coming back in 2026. They're going to come back in a big way. All right. So if you are in the political niche, if on one side or the other, Democrat, Republican, maybe you're independent, whatever. If you're in a politic-inspired niche, then this is going to be natural for you, assuming it's American politics. However, one thing that you're going to see a lot of, and this is going to be more relevant for you if you're not in a political-inspired niche, is political satire designs. So these are essentially the funny political designs. So, my cat for president, or vote for my dog, whatever. There's always these funny, satirical, humorous designs, and many times they can be stacked with a lot of different niches, especially animal niches, but a lot of other niches as well. So products to sell that we're going to see, there's already some. You would be surprised. There's already designs for the midterm elections. But some products that I'm seeing selling are t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, hats, pins, and stickers. So, when it's politics time, these are kind of the big hitters, right? You see a lot of people having the stickers on their car, on their laptop, wherever. You see a lot of people wearing hats, and then of course shirts. You see a lot of people wearing rocking apparel or rocking pins. Carlos, anything you want to add on niche number 2?
Yeah, no, I just look at the hats. It's pretty funny. So I just look at one. My cat is a libertarian. It's just like it's so like random, but I mean, like, this is the kind of funny stuff that people want to buy for around this time.
Right.
They want to make a statement, and whether the statement is that, okay, I'm done with everything, or whether the statement's I'm all in on this one party or whatever. Either way, there's a market there, and there's something that people are demanding, and obviously you want to spin it with your niche. You don't want something just general, right? And you don't want something for another niche. You want it specifically for your niche, but with that spin, that political satirical spin or political inspired design spin on it. But t-shirts and hats, I think, are the best because they're low cost, for instance. And on top of that, it's low risk investment for someone to make for a t-shirt or a hat. To wear for something like this. And especially for something that they might not be wearing that t-shirt and hat all the time, right? They might just be getting it for this year, right? And so really low risk, low cost, mass appeal products.
Totally. And I think we're going to see a rise in a lot of kind of sub niches of this or spin-off niches. I'm talking things like social justice, civil rights, feminism. There's a lot of kind of niches that kind of go hand in hand with politics. And
that's a really good point.
They always seem to get bigger around the time that politics is kind of in around election time and when, things like this are in the media. So I think you're going to see a lot of those go up as well. But yeah, you could do funny ones, like animal ones are easy. You could even do like apathy, funny designs that are kind of like anti-politics or something like that. Like, I mean, my cat is a libertarian. That's hilarious. One other sub niche, and then we're going to move on from this because we've got 3 more niches to get through, is patriotism. Whenever there's an election, patriotism gets really, really big as well. So there you go, guys. Lots of ideas, lots of niches that you could stack with your own niche and lots of different sub niches there. Hey, if you're getting value out of this podcast, I think you'll love my YouTube channel at adrian.vonarks, which I've linked below. There I drop weekly content and full tutorials on the latest product trends, design trends, and sales strategies to make money online with Shopify and print on demand. Like this podcast, there's no fluff, no BS, and no gatekeeping. Just proven, repeatable strategies and content to make more sales and grow your brand. You can check out my YouTube channel by clicking the link in the show notes below or by going to ecomlegendsacademy.com/YouTube. And now back to the show. All right, let's move on to niche number 3. This one's huge. This is the FIFA World Cup. So what is the FIFA World Cup? This is a huge soccer tournament, also known as football, depending where you are from in the world. I want to be respectful of everyone. I think it's actually called football in way more countries than it is soccer, but anyhow. So this is where teams from different countries play against each other to see who is the best in the world. That is obviously a very big title that everybody wants, right? And it's not only the players that are super excited for this, it's the fans, like the fans of those countries that are cheering them on. So this event happens every 4 years. It's viewed by literally billions of people watch to cheer on their own country or a country that they want to see win. A lot of people, their country might not actually be represented in the World Cup, but a lot of people have favorite countries. Maybe it's a country that they're originally from, or maybe it's just a country that they like, or there's some players from that country that they really, really like, right?
Totally.
So there's going to be people sporting all all types of countries from all around the world. This is one of the biggest sporting events on the planet, and winning the World Cup is the biggest prize a soccer team can get, so it's kind of a big deal. Now, this is happening June 11th to July 19th, so we're getting kind of mid-year now, even though this is already trending and there's already World Cup inspired designs selling right now. This is happening June to July, yet there's already a lot of attention around this because it only happens every 4 years and it's such a big deal. Also kind of cool is this year, I think this is the first time ever it's being hosted by 3 countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So expect to see not only a lot of national pride for the different soccer teams, but also national pride for the host countries. So I think you're going to see, actually, I'm already seeing sort of national pride style shirts for the World Cup around some of these countries like the United States, for example. There are a lot of ways that you can capitalize on this event, of course, without infringing on any trademarks or copyrights, but you can do host country specific designs. So again, United States, Canada, Mexico, soccer specific designs. If you're in the soccer niche, come on, this is like this is your moment. This is your moment. The whole world is talking about your sport. If you're in the soccer niche, this is your opportunity to really capitalize. And then funny spectator designs. We got to plant that seed again, guys, because you're going to see these. I promise you, you're going to see these, and a lot of them are going to sell. So many things. Again, you can stack a lot of these with your niche as well. I just keep coming back to the animal niche because it's so easy. You could have a silly goose playing soccer if you're in that niche. If you're in the cat niche, you could have a cat playing soccer. You could have a dog playing soccer. I don't know. You could have a teacher, like a funny teacher in soccer inspired design as well. It doesn't just have to be animals. It could be occupations. It could be interests, hobbies, all sorts of things. So which products to sell? These are some products that I'm already seeing selling. Some print-on-demand products, posters, so wall art posters, hats. Remember, this is happening in the summertime. Hats sell all year round, but they do tend to sell better between kind of like February and September or so. So you're going to see hats, mugs, of course, and then t-shirts. Mass appeal product, right? All right, niche number 4. This one is hard to pronounce. And a lot of people probably haven't heard this word yet, but you will be hearing it a lot in 2026, especially if you're in the United States. This is the U.S. semi-quincentennial, aka the United States is celebrating their 250th anniversary birthday. So the U.S. is celebrating their 250th birthday on July 4th. And I mean, man, you would be shocked because you would think that July 4th, maybe like June, maybe May, we would start seeing designs. Absolutely not. I've already seen many designs in this niche and even a number of bestsellers in January. So this is like a year-long festivity, year-long celebration. The big day is going to be July 4th, of course, American Independence Day, America's birthday, but you're going to start hearing about this a whole lot more very, very soon if you haven't already. So how can you capitalize on this event? Well, patriotic inspired apparel is going to blow up this year. Obviously, you got the midterm elections. You've got the semi-quincentennial, the 250th birthday of the United States. Patriotism is going to be at a 10 in 2026. So if you're in a patriotic niche or the patriotism niche, then, this is your moment, right? This is going to be a huge opportunity for you to really lean in and double down, especially leading up to July 4th. But like I said, I've already seen a lot of new semi-quincentennial designs selling right now, and some are already bestsellers. So a couple of those products that I saw that had bestsellers, so I'll kind of give you a number of products that you could sell that I saw selling, but a couple of them had some multiple bestsellers. So products to sell, t-shirts. This one, already there's multiple bestsellers. Hats, embroidered hats. Again, already multiple bestsellers. Sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, pins, these are all going to be big for this particular event. Let's go on to niche number 5. And this is another one that's probably very little known, right now, and maybe a lot of you haven't heard of this yet, but I definitely think you're going to be hearing about this in 2026. It's one of the biggest events in 2026 globally, and it's the Artemis space missions. So let me explain what that means. So 2026 is actually going to be a very big year for the space niche because a mega moon rocket is going to propel 4 astronauts to the moon. And get this, Carlos, this is crazy. This is the first crewed mission since 1973, and it's actually also a very historic one since it includes the first woman and the first person of color to the moon. So expect the feminism or female girl power, that kind of niche really leaning into this. I could see other niches leaning into this. And obviously, if you're in the outer space niche or anything around that, this is great for you because this is your moment, right? This is like one of the biggest space events in kind of modern history. This is a pretty big deal, and it's supposed to take place in late 2026. So I don't think that there's an exact date for this. So if you're, I mean, man, there's so many different niches that this could work for, but I just immediately am drawn to kind of like the outer space. You know, what's funny though is I've seen some designs that sell really well that make references kind of to outer space, but they're not actually in the outer space niche. So for example, I've seen like cats wearing space suits with like a big bubble over their head, and it said something funny like need space or something like that. I need space. And so I think that there's going to be a lot of funny spin-offs in sub-niches and spin-off niches that are going to sell really well here, especially as more attention comes to this really, really big historic upcoming event. Go ahead, girls.
Do you know what's crazy about this mission? So I'm just looking at it right now. And so the campaign, the idea behind this mission is they're exploring the moon to learn how to live and work on another world. This is insane. This is pretty cool. I think that there's going to be a lot of buzz around this because, you know, everybody obviously is going to start thinking about Elon Musk and the Mars mission and everything like that.
Right.
And so when this happens, I think there's going to be a lot of sales made for people that are ready for this.
And there's a lot of products that would sell really well, you know, if you did want to kind of lean into this event. So, of course, T-shirts, because they're the number one best-selling print-on-demand product. And apparel is predicted to lead across all product categories in 2026. But also, so that's T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, but also posters. So wall art, home decor is supposed to be the fastest growing product category in 2026. And that includes posters and mugs. Those are going to both be big, especially posters, I think could be really big. And then stickers, you know, anyone that's excited about this, they'll probably maybe want to put stickers on their laptop, on their car. There's lots of different places that you can put them. So, all right. That was a lot. I'm going to recap the 5 niches really quickly here. So niche number 1, 2026 Winter Olympics. Niche number 2, midterm elections. Niche number 3, FIFA World Cup. Niche number 4, US semi-quincentennial. And niche number 5, Artemis missions. So I hope you guys can come up with some creative ways to blend these events with your particular niche. And we want to see you guys make a lot of sales, right? We say go where the attention is. There's a lot of creative ways that you can stack these onto your existing niche. So with that, we're going to sign off. Thank you so much for listening. We're excited for 2026 full of abundance and hopefully a lot of sales for everybody. Remember to start before you're ready, take imperfect action, and know that you're always one design away.
Hey, if you're loving the Print-on-Demand podcast and want more, please help us out by rating this on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're listening from. It only takes a minute, and this is one of the best ways to support the show and let us know that you're enjoying these weekly episodes. Thank you in advance, and we'll talk soon.